This is lap waste, and lap waste is kind of end of runs and maybe kind of not quite right bits of fibre that woolen mills package together and sell as lap waste or mill ends. Sometimes you'll see them. And these are really super good fun ways of having lots and lots of different colours, maybe some different fibres and things that you probably wouldn't have thought of experimenting with unless you bought yourself a nice mystery box of lap waste. And I'm very keen on these. I've got these are kind of the remnants of a couple of lots that I bought. There was some Corriedale, there's some kind of mixtures of other things in there. You never quite know what you're getting. I mean, I specifically did choose some lap waste that was Corriedale, so I knew that that's what I was getting. But the rest of it, I mean, I've got some silk and I've got some other stuff that, yeah, not quite sure what they are. So today I am going to continue on my mini series of making marl yarns. If you're new here, my name is Becca and I'm a hand spinner, knitter and newbie weaver, and you're very welcome to my little cottage garden in West Wales. If you're an old friend, welcome back. So I'm going to continue my mini series. This is number 3, and I'm going to make another 3-ply using lap waste. What I've been doing in this series is talking to you about using the colour wheel and colour theory to create some really beautiful colour combinations using the marl technique. So just to recap, in case you haven't seen the rest of the series, a marl yarn is when you have individual colours in each single applied together to make a variegated coloured yarn. And you can have 2-ply and 3-ply and, well, as many plies as you want really. But I've been making 3-plies and 2-plies. So today I'm going to talk about something we call a split complementary. So this is my colour wheel and I will link it in the description. Just buy them online, buy them in the art shop. I like the ones that you can actually twist, and on here it has little arrows and it will show me if I point that arrow up, it then splits into a triangle and I have what's called a split complementary. So that means that rather than being directly opposite on the colour wheel, it's actually got one colour in between. So the other thing I want to do is just share a couple of books that I think are really useful if you maybe are not that confident working with colour. And the first one is Yarny Texture, which I never say right, Yarny Texture. See, can't say it. Anyway, that book, Yarn Texture, like architecture, but Yarny Texture. That was nearly it, wasn't it? Right, okay, so really good section on working with colour in this book, and it's widely available. Sorry, the dog is off screen, just destroying a plant pot. I think she's finished doing that now. Then the other book is Colour in Spinning, and this is actually out of print. It is quite expensive secondhand, but there are secondhand copies available. They were a ridiculous price. They seem to have come down a little bit in price, so I don't know whether because the prices were so high, people thought, oh, I've got a copy of that I'm not using, I shall try and sell it, because there definitely are a few more copies around than there were a few months ago. So I will link this. Bear in mind that it will be secondhand and they are not that common secondhand. So I also subscribe to Spin Off magazine, and in spring 2025 they have a really good section on marl yarns and working with colour. So I will leave a link to their subscription details, and yes, it is an affiliate link, but I'm only recommending things that I actually use myself, and yep, I have been reading this particular publication for a couple of years and really enjoy it. So I want you to think of this colour wheel as a starting point rather than the be-all and end-all of how you combine colours. Because for a lot of us, I think using colour is quite instinctive. And once we've made a few successful colour combinations, and maybe you've used this just to get you started, then you probably you're not going to refer to it very often. But just to start out, I think it's a good place to start. So once you've got the hang of making a few yarns that you've used your colour wheel for and you've done a bit of colour theory, then it's time to just let your imagination run wild. There are no such thing as the spinning police. You can combine any colours you like. So I would really encourage you to just have a go, experiment, make some samples, and actually keep those samples so that you can refer back to them and then build up your confidence. And before you know where you are, you're going to be combining colour and you won't even think about it because it will absolutely be second nature because you'll have really got to understand the way colours work together. One of the things that we have to deal with as hand spinners is that fibre does not combine the way paint does. So if you're used to painting, then you'll know that you mix your colours together and you're going to get different tones and shades and it's all going to be lovely. We get a thing called optical blending, and weavers have to really think about it when you are using your warp and weft of different colours, because what can happen is that the colours sort of merge together and that's when you get the muddiness. So if you're wanting to make purple, you would think, well, if I combine a blue and a red fibre, if I mix them together, I'm going to get purple. Yes and no. Quite often what you'll get is something a bit muddy. In lots of ways, you're better off actually just dyeing a purple rather than trying to combine your complementary colours to get your secondary colour. So that's just something to bear in mind. And really, it only clicks once you start doing it. So start combining some fibres and start putting colours next to each other, and then it will click. I promise you, it will click. So a couple of days ago, I got all this out and chose my colours and did a bit of spinning. So let's see how I got on. I've been into the stash, and this is my colour that really I was very drawn to. So this is, I guess, a teal you'd call it. So this is my blue-green. Then if we have a look at the split complementaries, they are red and orange. So rather than using a true red, I thought I'd use a shade. So I think that's very rich, very sort of jewel tones. And then I pulled out this, which is dyed with Dahlia. Yeah, I had to think about that then. Dyed with Dahlia. And then I pulled out this one as well, which is something that I think probably came with some mill ends. And I think I'm going to go with that sort of rusty orange. Very autumnal, which is slightly ironic because it is the hottest day of the year so far, and it's very nearly the summer solstice. But as spinners and knitters or weavers, we are always thinking at least one season ahead because it does take us a little while to get our work done. So there you go. Those are my split complementaries. I am going to go away and spin those up. By the magic of editing, I have 3 singles ready to be plied. So I feel a time lapse coming on. Before I show you what it looks like knitted up, I've just got one little request. If you are not subscribed to the channel, would you please consider subscribing? It is 95% spinning and natural dyeing. I do a little bit of acid dyeing. Honestly can't tell you the last time I did it, but occasionally I do use acid dyes as well. So let's just have a look how that sample turned out. I've come back outside so you can hopefully get a good sense of what the colour looks like. And that's what it is knitted up, and there are the fibres. I absolutely love it. I think it's going to be a shrug eventually. Got a fair bit of spinning still to do. Definitely very autumnal. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I guess there's only one thing left for me to say. Until next time, may your needles be swift and your yarns be soft.